to approve.
Have a motion, have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, resolution approving the downtown master plan consulting services.
Motion to approve.
Well, we're gonna, Kathy's here, do we need to say anything about that?
If y'all have any questions, I sent it to everyone already, hopefully y'all had a chance.
Well, let's say we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion second, now is there any questions? Kathy's here to answer any if there is. Thank you, Kathy, for being here, I know you got family members at the
No
funeral
problem,
home.
thank you.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Motion carries. Also authorizing proposal to provide for downtown development coordination services, that contract is also Kathy's, it's in your packet.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion?
Second.
Have a motion and second, any questions? Again, Kathy's here to answer those. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you,
Thank
Kathy.
y'all.
Next is, a resolution authorizing appropriate funds for an actual study of the costs associated with the hazardous duty supplemental benefit pursuant to Tennessee Codes annotated section 8-36-212.
Motion.
Okay, it's a motion and second, this is the amount of $400 to do this study. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is amending the pay classification plan.
Make the motion.
Okay, it's also included in your packet.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second.
Question,
Questions?
does this authorizes the manager to hire, but does it require him to hire the positions?
It gives him the approval to hire.
That's what I mean, so it gives him
Yes.
the authorization,
Yes, right.
but he's not required to.
I think that is correct.
That is correct.
Okay.
Okay, you see the positions there, it's the 3% cost of living, and then there's assistant recorder, public works director, parks and recreation director, firefighter, corporal, part-time communications specialist. So we had a motion and a second.
Mr. Mayor, there's,
Yes.
I'd like to say.
Okay.
I'm disclosing that my wife is paid half by utilities and half by city. And she will benefit, of course, that means I will, by this vote. In no way has that influenced my vote, none whatsoever.
Thank you, Councilmember Ridings, for disclosing that. Any other questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item is authorizing police department equipment to be considered surplus. This is the 9mm weapons that were surplus with the rounds of ammunition that is
Motion to
surplus. Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? Director of Public Safety Brubaker is here if there are any. Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next is authorizing the fire department to be considered surplus. This is the 32 SCBA bottles that are
Motion to
out of
approve.
service. Okay, we have a motion. Have a second?
Second.
Motion second. Vice Mayor Dixon. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, ordinance on second reading. The ordinance of City of Loudon, Tennessee, amending Title V of the Municipal Code involving the municipal procurement policy based on TCA 12-3-1207.
Motion to approve.
Okay, have a motion? Have a
Second.
second? Motion second. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Cardwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Dixon.
Aye.
Councilmember Ridings.
Aye.
Mayor Harris.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next item, ordinance on second reading is amending the personnel rules and regulations. This is from City Manager Goins, reducing the minimum time in position to 6 months for employees transferring to another
Motion
position.
to approve.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Councilmember Cardwell.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Dixon.
Aye.
Councilmember Ridings.
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, now ordinance on first reading. First one is amending the pay rules and regulations. This is so Mike Brubaker is requesting revision to the personnel rules and regulations to align with the 12-hour shifts in the police department. This aligns fire department, police
I'll
department.
make the motion. Second.
Okay, we have a motion second. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Dixon,
Aye.
Councilmember Newman,
Aye.
Councilmember Cardwell,
Aye.
Councilmember Ridings.
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next is amending the zoning map of the city of Loudon, Tennessee pursuant to 13-7-203, 13-7-204 of the TCA to rezone property located at 6622 Wesley Highway, tax map 048, parcel 104, approximately .26 acres from C1 to P1.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Okay, we have a second. Do I have a second?
Which one is that?
That's the
John Weaver.
property down here on Wesley Highway.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? I think there was some questions about spot zoning, and I think Professor Spencer and is here to address that before we actually vote.
This comes to you with a recommendation from the planning commission that the property be rezoned from C1 to P1. I might briefly describe some of the reasoning that went into that. As I understand it, the building that now occupies this lot was at one time used as a roadhouse or tavern. I'm not sure exactly what description to give it, but it was of that nature. The owner now wishes to convert that property to a single-family residence. C1 zoning does not permit that. In looking at the alternatives that were possible, the staff considered not only this property, but the other properties down the street that are also zoned C1, and the properties across the highway, which basically is a single-family subdivision. The planning commission sought to improve the situation by allowing the repurposing of that building from a commercial purpose to a single-family residential residence. That would be compatible with the fact that the properties on both sides of it are residential properties, and the properties across the street consisting of a single-family subdivision are residential. So P1 zoning would not be a drastic downzoning, but would allow the use of the property as requested. It was also felt that the C1 zoning for that strip probably has some inconsistencies because virtually all of the buildings now in that C1 zone are not conforming uses. They're non-conforming uses because they're residential properties in a commercial district. So part of the thinking was that this might be the beginning of what later could be a transition not only of this property, but the other properties down the street. That was the basis for the planning commission's recommendation, for the staff's recommendation and the planning commission's recommendation. And I'll be glad to try to take your questions.
Why was it not rezoned to residential as opposed to P1?
That would have been a possibility. It would also be what might be considered a drastic downzoning.
Why is that?
Because the transition from commercial all the way to a residential district would significantly reduce the value of the property and could be considered a taking. Now, since it would allow the owner to do what he was requesting, I don't know that there would have been any challenge, but there could have been, especially if someone else was considering buying the property at some point in the future. This was thought to be a more gentle reasoning and still accomplish the purpose requested and be compatible with the neighboring properties.
Well, because the properties down there, you've got 108, 107, 106, 4, 3, and 2. So right now, 108 is residential as an R1. 107 is commercial. The next one's residential as an R1.
I'm sorry, I'm having a little trouble here.
I'm sorry, so going from west to east, you have lots 108 through 102. 108 is a residential R1. The next one, 107, is a commercial. Then 106 is residential R1. The property in question is 104, commercial. The next one's 103 is commercial. Then 102 is residential R1. So I'm thinking that an R1 would have been more consistent with the other residential properties, and its neighbor 106 is an R1. And the problem with P1 is it allows for R2 development, not just R1. So it could go from a high density if they wanted it under P1 because it allows it. So I think an R1 would have been more consistent request as opposed to a P1, which can allow both that professional or up to R2, which is high density.
I'm not sure I followed all of that, but my understanding is that entire strip from this property on north is C1.
It's not.
C2.
C2,
It's C2?
Yes, sir.
here, all the yellow.
I'm sorry, C2.
Okay, well, the state of Tennessee has it wrong.
So you're saying it would.
So 107, 108 currently are R1. Okay? The state of Tennessee says 104, I'm sorry, that 106. State of Tennessee says 108 is residential, 107 is commercial, 106 is residential. So they've got 106 and 107 flip-flop from what you have.
So he's got commercial all the way, 102 is commercial all the way.
Yeah.
That at some point could be P1.
When you say state of Tennessee,
On the property data,
Tennessee property.
they have it as, they have 107 as commercial, 106 as residential, which would be the same as if we want 104 to be. But the concern is right now that it's R1. But if you go to P1, it will allow R2, which is heavy or high density. And I think we don't want that danger of it could go that. Now, I understand people make promises, but it will be zoned where someone can put high density there, and I don't think that's the intent.
Well, to that point too, the potential to have the rest of it rezoned to P1 as well, it plays in that exact same thing. So
Yes.
someone can come in and, now that it's been zoned P1, someone can come in and buy this whole property and high density develop it or do
That's-
whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
When we're being told the intention is for a single family residence, I think that falls more in line with the R1.
With R1 is that's what I think it should be if that's the intent. And it's more in line with what Dr. Snyder was talking about is that sort of looks like the intent of the whole strip is to be basically R1 to be consistent with across the street and the other. I'm just thinking that P1 it gives us a weird circumstance that you could throw into high density and somebody else would come in. With that, Mr. Mayor, I'd make a recommendation that we table this and send it back to the Planning Commission for a little bit further, more detail and study.
Second.
Is that a second on that?
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second to send this back to the planning commission for further review. So we need to take a vote, we can take a vote, just a vote on that, can't we?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye. I'm gonna say no, because I think I'm gonna go with the planning commission's recommendation of P1, but, so it'll pass 4-1, it goes back to the planning commission.
I mean, because I don't want to say no, I just need to sort of relook it.
That's fine.
All right,
Okay, I have a question, please, sir. Do we not take a vote on the original motion?
No.
Okay, thank you. I just needed verification.
yeah, that one,
Because it was tabled.
yeah.
Right, just appreciate it.
I'll talk to the next.
Okay, all right, so the next one is an ordinance to add Title 18, Chapter 3 Drought Management Plan to the City of Loudon Municipal Code.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
And for discussion, the plan was passed at LEB tonight.
Okay, and that was included in your packet, we talked about the workshop, so. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Cardwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Dixon.
Aye.
Councilmember Ridings.
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next, item is setting the tax rate for tax year 2025. Property tax rate is $1.19 for $100 of assessed value, which is unchanged from 2024.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve, have a second. Second, Councilmember Newman. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Cardwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Dixon.
Aye.
Councilmember Ridings.
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next item is an ordinance City of Loudon adopting the annual budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026. That's the recommendation. We have a motion by Vice Mayor Dixon. Do we have a second?
Second.
Have a second by Councilmember Newman. Any questions?
Comments?
Okay,
Just
comments?
one last time is, this puts us in a budget deficit of, what, about $800,000. And I don't think it's fiscally responsible or fiscally conservative to take an action and then later try to figure out how to pay for it. I think we need to hit the pause button, figure out how to pay for this, and not burden the taxpayers down the road with it.
Okay, any other comments? Okay, motion second's been approved. Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Dixon.
Aye.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Councilmember Cardwell.
No,
Councilmember Ridings.
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, motion carries. The next item is amending the 2024-2025 fiscal year budget.
motion to approve.
Okay. Have a second. Motion second by Vice Mayor Dixon. Any questions about the appropriations and things listed? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Cardwell.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Dixon.
Aye.
Councilmember Newman.
Aye.
Councilmember Ridings.
Yes.
Mayor Harris.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, next item is just, other business fuel quote comparisons, May 15th, 2025. The low deliverable quote for the purchase of fuel was received by Valley Oil Company for the amount of $18,248.75. Which that was gasoline at $2.29 and diesel at $2.26.
Mayor Hurst, will you announce the public hearings on those?
Yes.
Ordinance?
I will. First one is 605, and then 610, 615, 620, 625,
Thank you, sir.
in that order.
Hold on.
So one was
So one
tabled.
we tabled.
Oh.
One was tabled.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
So we begin at
Perfect.
6:05
No,
and.
perfect.
One was tabled.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Department reports, Director of Safety Brubaker. Mark can't talk, he said. Mark handed out the master plan, meeting that's June the 10th, 5 to 7, here in this room, correct? Okay. All right, Steve, you have anything for us? You're not usually here? Nothing to report? Okay. All right. City Engineer Hogan?
No, sir.
Okay. Manager Goins, you have anything for us?
I think he's having trouble hearing.
Oh, okay.
Just a few moments ago, I don't think anything's changed on our end.
Okay.
Sound of the ocean's too loud for me.
Or the,
I bet he's got shorts over
just
there.
keep it the other way. Yeah, don't stand up.
Hey, I used to do that all the time.
He heard me. He heard me.
Don't stand up. All right, councilmember reports. Councilmember Newman?
We can
I'm
hear
hearing
you.
that.
Okay, Manager Goins, you have anything to report?
No, not at this time.
Okay, all right, well, thank you for joining us. Councilmember Newman?
RSC meets tomorrow here, 5:30. We're gonna discuss some of the ongoing projects we have with Kinley Horn, as well as our community open house. So spread the word on our community open house to discuss the survey that we all sent out and
Yeah.
participated in.
It's been shared a lot, looks like, on Facebook, a lot of people sharing.
I think we got over 600
Views?
Review, 600, surveys turned back in. I think that's about right, somewhere in the 600-700
Okay.
range, so.
I did one.
I think Kimley Horn was happy with the amount of,
5:30?
yes, sir. Yep. That's it.
Okay. Vice Mayor Dixon, Planning Commission.
Yeah, I got a couple here. Application number 165, rezoning request for C2 Highway Business District P1. That was tabled tonight until next month. That was approved by the Planning Commission. Another one was application number 167, amending master plan from Tennessee National, owner of Tennessee National LLC, for a planned development district. That was also approved by the Planning Commission. And we had one from the BZA, applicant number 172, variance request to allow side yard accessory building, 404 Coffee Lane. Property owner was Jason Almagrande, and that was for a single family residence, and that was approved by the Planning Commission.
Okay. That was the BZA.
Yes, that's all.
All right. Councilmember Cardwell, Utility Board.
Yes, utility board met today at 4:30. Only had two items. One, they approved the drought management plan that the city council approved, and also established natural gas rates at 112. The Historic Preservation Advisory Committee met the other night. We didn't have enough for a quorum, so we didn't have an official meeting, but we're starting to get some of our drafts in for the signs, for the information. We recruited Darryl Tuck to help in that effort, so he's got a lot that came from his book. He's helping us. Also, Mr. Mayor, we got a letter dated 20 May that from the Department of Interior that we've been accepted as a CLG, so we're now official.
Good deal.
I will have a phone call with Dr. Tilner tomorrow to now way ahead, so start looking at grants and some other things in the world of being a certified local government. So the one and only CLG in Loudon County.
Good deal. Awesome. And that was thank you for your work on that. That was a process to go
Well,
through. To get that.
thank you to the council for being patient of passing an ordinance, fixing the ordinance, but literally, we turned it in, about 4 days later, they said approved.
Yeah.
So, thank you for your patience on it also.
Okay. Councilmember Riley, do you have anything to report on?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, just a few closing comments. We have, most of you may have got the email from Kevin. Retirement dinner is planned on July the 8th at 11 for John Davis, and we're gonna put Mark Harrell in that queue as well. Mark's last day's July 31st, and John's is the 11th, July 11th, so we're gonna do it prior to John getting out of here. So that'll be at the Operations Center on July the 8th, 11 o'clock. Mr. Cartwright will be catering that. Also, just remember, pray for Melissa's husband, Jason, had an accident at work, so that's why she couldn't be here tonight. So he's gonna be having surgery probably next week, so just kind of keep him in your thoughts and prayers as well. We didn't have any anniversaries in the city, so I guess we didn't hire anybody in May, but we had several in the utilities. Brett Zimmerman, 2 years, gas, water, and sewer. Brianna Baxter, 3 years, sewer department. Ed Adame, 8 years, gas, water, and sewer. Everett Beatty, 10 years in water. Adam Cook, 11 years electric. Brian Curtis, 31 years in electric. And Ken Everett, 43 years in the water plant. So he probably started when didn't have cell phones. Now we got AI.
Yeah.
43 years. So, thank those gentlemen if you see them, and ladies if you see them, and appreciate their efforts. Birthdays?
We got a few. Administration to Kevin Goins, May the 18th.
Happy
Stephanie
birthday, Kevin.
Laughlin, May the 22nd. In the police department, Keaton Herring, May the 2nd. Will Jenkins, May the 27th. In the fire department, Josh Kerr, May the 12th. And Noah Kyle, May the 13th. In public works, Lance Dottie, May the 1st. Electric Department, Adam Cook, May the 25th. Jerenot Fizel, May the 23rd. Clifton Henry, May the 10th. The Water Department, Cody Manus, May the 22nd. Gas Department, John Davis, May the 11th. Shane Johnson, May the 16th. Council Member, John Cardwell, May the 28th. Happy birthday.
Tomorrow, happy birthday. Mom didn't bring no cupcakes.
Gene Farmer, from the Utility Board, May the 23rd. Sorry, Mayor.
That's it, all right. Anything else on your mind? Megan, you got all you need
Yes, sir.
for now? Okay. All right, if there's no objections, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
27 minutes. is pretty
Right,
good.
it was still pretty heavy, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good, that's pretty good.
Y'all got good, appreciate that.
Short.